And you guys notice there's a serious epidemic of the moment of politicians being interviewed by stand-up comedians, by podcasters, by YouTubers, and just getting incredibly softball interviews. Even Netanyahu has been on a podcast recently.
Burger King kind of sucks.
Yeah.
No,
the
you're wrong.
BK Lounge can hit.
I disagree completely.
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
Oh, he likes McDonald's. I like McDonald's as well. Yeah, he must be all right. He must be all right. And this is the problem here, man. This is the problem. They don't... comedians, podcasters, YouTubers, they're not going to give them any sort of hard time. They're not going to give them any sort of intellectual questions that are really going to challenge them. And I saw an interview with Bill Burr recently who kind of summed this up perfectly.
Look, dude, there's an ugliness that's out there right now where, you know, there's certain podcasts out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your fucking bad jokes and just give you this pass. And it's like, you know, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there. And, you know, it's the kind of things we've already seen this, and we've seen what it does to a nation. And it's not the way to go. Now that everybody has a camera and blah, 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 it's just so all over the place. I just think the landscape of it has changed. All I can say is personally, I would never do it. I would never have somebody come on that's running for fucking president with my intellect. I'm not going to sit there and be like, so, like, what's your foreign policy? Like, I would be like within 3 minutes, dude, what was your favorite Super Bowl? And then people be like watching it going, I like that Super Bowl too. I'm going to vote for this guy.
He's exactly right. You know, what happened to the days of the likes of Beth Rigby interviewing politicians? You know, politicians would actually shit themselves when they knew that they were in for an interview with Beth Rigby. But now, podcasters, stand-up comedians, you know, I think this all started with Joe Rogan when he had sort of, you know, Trump and Elon Musk as well. These incredible, powerful people that know that they can just go onto his show. They can steer the conversation exactly where they want it. They're not going to get any sort of real intellectual hard questions from them, and they're going to reach viewers, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of viewers. And I've noticed the same thing going on in this country. I done a video recently about Ben Habib has cottoned onto this. He's doing the YouTuber circuit here in the UK. He's done loads of these interviews with different YouTubers, and he's cottoned on to the fact that he can reach thousands of people and get his message across. And exactly those reasons that I said before. He's not going to get a hard time. He's going to be able to steer the conversation exactly where he wants it. He's not going to get any real hard intellectual questions from these people. They're just going to let him speak, and he's going to be able to reach thousands of people. Now, I'd like to say that I really try to do my research on this channel when I do a video, and I do, but I can't sit through all these videos. I can't do it. I've listened to three, which I think is pretty good going, really. I've stuck them on in the van. I've listened to them while I've had a long drive, and they're all the same. They're all the same. You know, some of these go on for about 2 hours, but it's all the same talk. They talk about Nigel Farage, they talk about immigration, they talk about leaving, which so many of these guys seem to be obsessed with. Farage, Ben Habib, leaving European courts of human rights. And that's it. They don't get any real serious questions of substance. Why are people not asking Ben Habib, who has just formed a new political party, which will eventually probably merge back with Reform anyway, but he wants to form the next government? No one's asking him, what are you going to do about our schools? Education system is terrible. The schools are literally crumbling. Class sizes are huge. Teachers can't cope. How are you going to deal with education? How are you going to stop water companies pumping sewage into our rivers and seas? How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with homelessness? The fact that the homeless population has exploded over the last 14 years. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to deal with the NHS? How are you going to deal with the fact that so many people in this country are paying up to 60, sometimes 70% of their wages on rent? How are you going to get rents down? No one asks them any of these sort of questions. But this is what is important. This is the thing. The whole ethos of politics right now is encapsulated with immigration. The whole topic is obsessed with immigration, where we're all just forgetting what actually affects our daily lives. Education for our kids, healthcare, homelessness, poverty, all these things are what's important. And Ben Habib has gone on probably 20 hours worth of these interviews and these podcasts, and no one has asked him a single question about any of those topics. And this is a serious issue. And I think a lot more people like Ben Habib, I can see Farage doing this as well in the future. Or maybe not Farage, maybe 40p Lee, 30p. Is it 30p? God, it was 30p, wasn't it? How in God's given earth does this man think that you can make a meal for 30 pence when a stick of broccoli is £1 right now? Doesn't he tries to suggest he lives in the real world, but he really doesn't. But I could see that guy doing the YouTuber circuit, and it's a serious problem. So I just had to change location there, folks, but I was about to finish the video, but I wanted to finish on this final point. Ben Habib in these interviews, Farage yesterday with his announcement of how he's going to tackle small boats, they're all obsessed with this one issue, leaving the ECHR, the European Courts of Human Rights. They're banging on about this time and time again. A 2-hour interview with Ben Habib, he's talking about this stuff for like half an hour. If only we left the European Courts of Human Rights, if only we could leave, and then Britain will finally be perfect. Honestly, guys, honestly, do you honestly believe this stuff? Do you honestly believe that Richard Tice, for example, multi-millionaire property developer, his sole intentions for leaving the ECHR is to deal with asylum seekers? Or is there a lot of pesky laws in there that are getting in the way of him earning even more multi-millions? You know, renters caps, standards of rent accommodation, all these sort of human rights laws that get in the way of him earning even more money. Or what about the sort of human rights laws that are probably stopping these guys from finally privatising the NHS? You want to leave your human rights in the hands of Richard Tice, multi-millionaire property developer, Nigel Farage, city boy banker, went to the most expensive private school in the country. You want these guys to rewrite our human rights? Honestly, you trust them? Honestly, wherever you sit on the political spectrum, do you honestly trust these guys to rewrite our human rights? I don't know what happened in this country, man. We used to absolutely despise these people in the 80s and the 90s. Tough boy, rich, private school, Eton wankers. We used to despise these people, but something happened, seriously, in the last 10 years, whether it be Brexit, whether it be what, but as soon as a posh accent comes on TV, we believe every single thing they say. And this is the danger with these interviews. This is the danger of these softball interviews that Ben Habib has on these YouTube channels that get watched by thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, are now fully willing to give up their human rights and get it rewritten by these guys. Think about this, folks. This is serious, man. You're giving up your rights so easily. Till next time. I don't know what to say. Stop believing these tough boy wankers. Till next time, take care.